Okay, Coach, it's the NFL playoffs on EA Sports. No bigger stage than this one. Sold out MetLife Stadium, located just outside of New York City. Straight ahead, we pull the curtain on the postseason with an AFC wildcard matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the New York Jets. It's that most wonderful time of the year, the NFL playoffs, as we're underway on EA Sports. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go. At their own 25-yard line.
Good. 180. King. Yeah, let's go second.
First carry for Nick Chubb. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, 73 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was, and if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. Flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
This fielded at the 2. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 22.
Motion.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down.
Get wide. Protein spill.
Darnold from the gun. He finds his target. It's Crowder. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Throwing on 2nd down, Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. Darnold and the Jets come up 3rd and long following the sack. 3rd and long, it's Darnold. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Myles Garrett picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on 3rd down, and you make the home crowd go.
There is a hush indeed. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. That'd be ideal.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Right there, 54, right there, 54. Hey, Haywood!
On 3rd down, Mayfield escaping the pressure right. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Fielded at the 33. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. From the 44, Darnold. He's going to let this one go deep. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. After the penalty, it's Bell. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter.
Here we go. Watch the curve. Watch the curves. You.
From the 50, it's Darnold. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And they finally put it into this return, but not. Before he's all the way down to the 37.
His guys take over first and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10.
Here we go. Regular.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great effort there. 37 yards. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And it's now 14-0.
14. Jets, nothing. Albert Rosas set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. The shotgun snap for Darnold. Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. Bud Dupree able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. Darnold and the Jets come up 3rd and long following the sack. From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. Going long here for Wallace. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing. Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Here's the Jets punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And we'll see what he can do on the return. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here that could really put them in command before intermission. Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Darnold. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
The Jets on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Darnold. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Yeah, he's just trying to throw this ball into the hole in the zone, but those windows can open and close quickly, especially in the middle of the field. So if the timing's not right, we'll see interceptions like that one right there.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace. Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Hey, alert, 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 alert. 57's the match. Rock 57. Hey, Charlie.
Mayfield down. Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to let... And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Brian Poole.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now it's Darnold, caught here by Bell. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Bell. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. First red zone opportunity now for the Jets. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. To throw is Darnold. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl.
Young lady, blue draw Corkers.
2nd down and 10, Darnold. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Andrew Billings coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Darnold and the Jets come up 3rd and long following the sack. Darnold now to throw. Flushed out right. This is Bell on the dump off. Pushing him away. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Le'Veon Bell. 26 yards as they are now on the board here in the first half. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And he takes it to the house. It's a fumble recovery for a Jet touchdown.
I feel like I'm back in school. What was that book, you know? It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. This has been a tale of 2 quarters so far. They trailed 14-0 after 1. How about the rally we've been watching?
Yeah, a couple of touchdowns. PAT here to tie it up. This is a good ball game all of a sudden. Zerline good with a PAT. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Browns drive about to get started. And that 14-0 lead to begin the ball game, well, that's gone now. Time to regroup.
I think even up 2 touchdowns, they knew this wasn't going to be a walk in the park, and I think that's why we would see the head coach going up and down the sidelines telling his team, let's stay with it, let's keep going. It's almost like he knew they were going to make their run at him, and they have. As you said, let's see if they can regroup and get going again.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
On second down, Mayfield again. He sets to fire deep, and that's caught inside the 35. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. A first down throw for Mayfield. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range. But boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 12-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13. Now after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw, Darnold. Flush to his right. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. Now the Pro Bowl kicker, Aldrick Rosas. Last year, he hit one from 57. 64 was Matt Prater's record. This would top that by a yard. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Now the Pro Bowl kicker, Aldrick Rosas. Last year, he hit one from 57. 64 was Matt Prater's record. This would top that by a yard. Flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And it's complete. They're going to get the first. Past the 20. And they're able to pick up the first and keep possession. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Now this is Le'Veon Bell with a reception. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he'll finally be taken down just shy of midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to the back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 41. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end.
Let's go, team. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day. Waiting. Kill.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. 3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Bell running on 1st down as he'll push forward for about 3. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And they'll try the air now with Darnold. Throw complete to Herndon. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. A field goal would get them the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's Bell. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the 1st down marker was and getting there.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll give this to Bell running right. is way in for a Jets touchdown. Le'Veon Bell, his second touchdown of the afternoon, and the Jets have taken the lead.
And as many coaches' meetings as we sit in, we hear the word finish all the time, don't we? And on that play, the back actually finished getting into the end zone, breaking the last tackle. Tried to wrap up, tried to use the proper technique, just wasn't able to get it done.
Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10 at the 40. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
It's a gain of 5.
They run it again with Chubb. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. Escaping the pressure right. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. 1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10.
Run. Hey, exit. 54's Mike. Check.
From the gun, Mayfield. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the linebacker, Avery Williamson. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Trying to get it to Landry there.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Hey, 4 down.
They'll go again with Bell. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Rush in. Ready.
A 1st down throw, Darnold. That's complete. It's Bell. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. From the shotgun, it's a give to Bell. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence and playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Now Darnold. Got his man there. It's Wallace complete. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. A first down carry for Bell, but he'll work forward for only about a yard. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Again, it's Bell. And he's going to take this down close to a first down at the Browns' 41.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first. Starting to feel a little to me like the air is coming out of the balloon, so to speak, defensively.
They're taking their will from them right now. That's what they're doing. Whatever they want to call, it's working. They're handling things up front. And it's not just the offensive line. It's everyone. You're seeing the guys on the perimeter blocking downfield and making sure that they're secure. So, yeah, you're exactly right. The air's out of the balloon, and right now they're almost lifeless.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Bell, and that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Things just got interesting. They try for the long field goal there to salt this one away. They don't get it, and now a little time for the other guys to mount a late drive.
Well, they thought their kicker would put it through the post and finish this one off. I'm sure they discussed pooch punting it and letting their defense take over. Well, the defense now has to make it stand up, but they didn't get the best field position because the ball comes back to the line of scrimmage.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Now this throw caught left side, and he's got this down to the 35. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down. Back to throw. I tell you, it has not been his best day throwing the football. He really needs to piece something together here.
All will be forgiven if he leads them into the end zone.
He was trying to go back to Beckham there, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Back to throw. Buying time to his left. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Brian Poole, and he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault.